All right, everybody, get ready because today we're taking a deep dive into something truly remarkable, the human body.
It's fascinating, right?
We're going to be doing a quiz show style deep dive, unearthing cool facts about this amazing machine we call home.
I think people will be surprised at what we find today.
Yeah, so get ready for 10 multiple choice questions that'll test your knowledge and maybe teach you a thing or two about your own body.
Yeah.
You ready to play along?
I am.
All right, question number 1. What is the largest cranial nerve in the human body? Is it A, the optic nerve, B, the vagus nerve, C, the trigeminal nerve, or D, the facial nerve?
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Think about which nerve covers the most ground.
Okay, time's up. The answer is C, the trigeminal nerve.
Yeah.
That name alone just sounds impressive. What makes this nerve so special?
Well, it's responsible for all sorts of sensations in your face, like touch, pain, temperature, you know?
Oh, wow.
And it also controls your jaw muscles for chewing and even talking.
Wow. I never knew a single nerve could do so much.
And you know what? We'll see later how it's also connected to a reflex we all experience.
Ooh, little foreshadowing. I like it. Let's move on to question number 2. What's the main function of sneezing? Is it A, to clear out your lungs, B, to regulate your body temperature, C, to get rid of irritants in your nose, or D, to let everyone know you're sick?
Think about what happens in that split second before you sneeze. What's setting it off?
That's right. The answer is C, to get rid of those pesky irritants in your nasal cavity. It's like our body saying, nope, not welcome here, to anything that doesn't belong.
It really is, but it's more complicated than just blowing air out of your nose. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Not that simple.
No, it's a whole coordinated effort. Our friend, the trigeminal nerve we just talked about, detects the irritant and sends an alert to the brain. And the brain is like, all right, everybody, action stations. Your chest muscles tighten, your diaphragm pushes up, even your soft palate and the back of your tongue get involved.
It's like a perfectly choreographed dance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All working together to create this powerful burst of air that blasts those irritants out. It's amazing how our bodies can do all that without us even thinking about it. Okay, ready for question number 3.
Hit me.
Aside from those obvious irritants, what else can make you sneeze? A, full stomach, B, bright light, C, cold air, or D, all of the above?
This one might surprise you. Think outside the box. What are some less common sneeze triggers?
You got me. The answer is D, all of the above. I've heard of sneezing after a big meal, but I always thought that was just a funny coincidence.
Well, actually, there's a real medical term for it. It's called snatiation.
Snatiation.
Yeah, it's thought to be at least partly genetic,
Wow.
meaning it runs in families. Doctors aren't totally sure why it happens, but it shows just how connected our digestive and respiratory systems really are.
Fascinating. Imagine trying to explain that to someone. Oh, I'm not sick. I just sneeze when I eat too much.
Right.
All right, let's see how fast your reflexes are. Question number 4. What is the estimated speed of a sneeze? Is it A, 10 mile per hour, B, 30 mile per hour, C, 60 mile per hour, or D, 100 miles per hour?
Think about those droplets flying out of your nose. How fast do you think they're traveling?
And the answer is D, 100 mph per hour. That's faster than I drive on the freeway.
I know, right? That speed is a result of the force generated by all those muscles working together. And it's a good reminder why covering your mouth and nose when you sneeze is so important.
Yeah, those droplets can travel a surprisingly long distance at that speed. Okay, time for question number 5. Approximately how many droplets can a single sneeze produce? Is it A, 200, B, 2,000, C, 20,000, or D, 40,000?
Picture a sneeze in slow motion. Try to visualize the sheer volume of particles being released.
The answer is a mind-blowing D, 40,000 droplets.
Wow, that's a lot of droplets.
It really is. And it just goes to show that even something as simple as a sneeze can have a big impact on those around us.
Definitely, good sneeze etiquette is important for everyone's health.
For sure. All right, question number 6. What is it called when someone sneezes when they look at a bright light? Is it A, photosneeze reflex, B, photic sneeze reflex, C, photosensitive sneeze reflex, or D, photosynthesis sneeze reflex?
Think about the stimulus that's triggering this unusual reflex.
The answer is B, photic sneeze reflex. I've actually heard of this one before, but it always seems so weird to me. What causes that kind of reaction to light?
You know, it's more common than you might think. Studies suggest it could affect between 18% to 35% of people. And like snatiation, it seems to run in families. Scientists think it could be a kind of crossed wire in the brain where the signals for your pupils reacting to light get mixed up with the signals for sneezing.
So it's like the brain is saying, hey, too bright, gotta sneeze.
Exactly. It just shows you how complex even those simple reflexes can be.
Absolutely.
Eh.
Okay, are you ready for question number 7?
I'm ready.
All right, this one's a history question. What is the oldest surviving motion picture with a copyright? Is it A. Round Hay Garden Scene, B. The Horse in Motion, C. Fred Ott's Sneeze, or D. Sally Gardner at a Gallop?
Think back to the very first subjects that filmmakers were drawn to. What might have captured their imaginations in the early days of cinema?
And the answer is C. Fred Ott's Sneeze. I love this one. It's incredible to think that even way back in 1894, a sneeze was considered interesting enough to film.
I know, right?
Huh?
It really shows our endless fascination with the human body and how it works. Even something as ordinary as a sneeze can spark curiosity and a sense of wonder.
It definitely does.
No.
Okay, ready for question number 8. This one's a bit more technical.
Hmm.
During a sneeze, your soft palate and that little dangy thing in the back of your throat, the uvular, they both go down while the back of your tongue goes up, partly closing off the passage to your mouth. This creates what physical phenomenon? Is it A, synergy, B, venturi, C, osmosis, or D, symbiosis?
Ah, time to dust off those high school physics textbooks. This has to do with the way fluids flow and how pressure changes.
The answer is B, venturi. Now, I remember hearing about venturi effect, but I'm a little fuzzy on the details. How does that relate to sneezing?
Well, it all comes down to fluid dynamics.
Yeah.
When the airway to your mouth gets partially blocked during a sneeze, the air is forced through a narrower space. This speeds up the airflow, and according to the Venturi effect, that increase in speed causes a decrease in pressure. Then that helps to blast those irritants out with even more force.
So it's like a turbo boost for your sneeze?
Pretty much.
It's amazing how our bodies use physics like that. It's so efficient. All right, question number 9. Why is it not a good idea to hold back a sneeze by pinching your nose or holding your breath? Is it A, it can cause a headache, B, it can raise your blood pressure, C, it can damage your eardrums, or D, all of the above?
Interesting question. Think about where all that pent-up pressure goes when you try to stop a sneeze. What parts of your head are most vulnerable?
The answer, and it's not a good one, is D, all of the above. I'll admit I've been guilty of trying to hold back a sneeze before thinking it was the polite thing to do. But now I'm starting to think it's much better to just let it rip.
I agree. It might seem polite, but it can actually be harmful.
Right.
All that force that's supposed to be released gets trapped inside your head. It puts strain on your blood vessels, which can lead to headaches and even raise your blood pressure. And sometimes it can even hurt your eardrums.
Yikes. It's like turning a sneeze into an explosion inside your head.
Mm.
Okay, last but not least, question number 10. What's a common superstition in some East Asian cultures about sneezing? Is it A, a sneeze means someone is thinking about you? B, a sneeze before starting something new is bad luck? C, a sneeze during a conversation means the person is telling the truth? Or D, all of the above?
Think about the different ways cultures around the world interpret things like sneezing. It's not always just about biology.
The answer is D, all of the above.
Mhm.
I find it so interesting how a simple sneeze can have so many different meanings and interpretations across different cultures.
Yeah, it really shows how biology and culture are intertwined. Even something as basic as a bodily function can take on special significance depending on people's beliefs and traditions.
That's so true. I feel like I've learned so much today about sneezing. It's not just an automatic reflex. It's connected to history, science, and even culture.
That's the beauty of deep dives. You never know what you'll discover.
Well said. I think that's a wrap for today's deep dive into the wonderful world of sneezing. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.